Alrighty, so this will be my tutorial video for the game. I've seen a lot of people struggle to understand some of the basic concepts, like springboarding, wall running. So I'm gonna just be showing how I usually do it, and I'll also go over some of the more advanced techniques. So pretty simple. Also, it's best to play in first person, but you can still complete most of the things in the game in third. For this, I will be doing it in first. Of course, if you want me to, I'll do it in third in another video. Now, simple vaulting, vault jumping, hold space. This part, I've seen a lot of people struggle on this. So, this isn't very specific. Now, what I see a lot of people doing is they either just jump off, like that, or, if I can get up, or they jump at it, wall climb, but they're not able to climb up. Now, here what you have to do. The best way to do this is to jump at the very edge. Now, how wall climbing in this game works is that if you have downward momentum, you can't wall climb. Like that, see? Which means you're going to want to start your wall climb as soon as you can. But that doesn't mean you should spam space. What this means is that you should press it the second you actually hit the wall. Then, once you reach the wall, you're gonna want to press space again, and to start a wall climb, you need to press space. A lot of people are just jumping at it without pressing space again. The full technique is space, 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 like that. Now, once you get the timing right, you're probably never gonna feel it again. Sliding, simple. What a lot of people don't know is that sliding will make you lose your speed. So what you can do is you can click your scroll wheel and it'll go into a roll and you'll be back at maximum speed. Rolling, always try to roll the second before you hit the ground. That way you'll minimize your damage. A lot of people do this. That will not help you. I have almost died. You want to make sure you maximize your roll. Another way to maximize your damage absorption is to hold shift right before going off the ledge. So you shift off the ledge. This will remove another 25 studs, so sometimes you don't even need to roll. Now this will also help you with your roll, so it'll take even less damage. Now wall running. This is very long, so I'll shorten it. What the sign is telling you to do is to line up your character with this pipe, hold D, make sure you're right up against it, instead of, just running at it a diagonal. Now, while you can do that, I'm assuming you will not get it first try. Now, you're going to want to jump, and how wall running works is that the sooner you start your wall run, with the more momentum from your jump, the more momentum from your jump that the wall run will carry. So what you do is you edge jump, and start your wall run as soon as possible, and jump off again. Now, to start a wall run, you need to press space while absolutely parallel to the wall, or else it will not work because you can't wall run while facing away from the wall. So what you want to do is just make sure your camera is nice and aligned with the wall, like so. Then once you reach the end, you always want to exhaust your wall run to the point where you're about to fall off. Just hit space right before that happens. Now this part a lot of people fail on. Now, also before we do this, I just want to remind everybody, the best way to play in first person is to disable these four. Because if you keep them on, well, it is the most realistic experience, because your camera will tilt with everything, it is not good for actually playing the game. It's for more of a realism effect. Now, if you want to, but if you have the freestyle game pass, then you're gonna want to turn that off, because these can really get the better of you. Now this part, so this is what you've probably experienced. Jumping and then you just land on it and run off. Or you accidentally do a vault jump. Now, the best way for this one is to hold space right when you reach the distance of the sign. And go aim for this big one right here. Now, of course, at one point you'll learn through intuition at one point to jump. But for me, I just... See, there you go. You still make mistakes. You just hold space about there. And you don't press space twice, you hold it once. Now pipes, pretty simple, just walk into it. This is the second springboard. Now, it's best if you learn how to springboard, but another way is to just wall run off of that. Now, of course, intuition, and you learn how to springboard. Also, you have to be somewhat aligned with this, because what I see a lot of people doing is they approach it at a diagonal. That's not good. You can approach it, but you just can't hold on to it. Same thing here. You're gonna want to edge jump and land on the trash bin. Now, a fun little trick is that if you get a perfect shift, you'll still be able to move while you're landing. And here is the last springboard in the normal tutorial. You just want to grab on, and then this is where it tells you to shift to remove more damage. Now that is the basic tutorial. I suggest doing each section 3 times to make sure you really drilled it in. Now here's the advanced tutorial. Now let me just make it day really easily. Now, advanced tutorial. Also, I'm doing everything gloveless, so I'm showing you that all of this is completely skill based and it's absolutely possible. Now here it's going to teach how to wall boost. Wall boosting is one of the more advanced techniques. It's the advanced technique, but it's also one of the most crucial and easiest to learn. So when you wall, you're going to want to do this facing up. Of course, you can do it while just looking straight forward, but you don't get the maximum height out of that. So I'm assuming you all know how to wall climb now, as I did just go over it. You're going to want to start a wall climb, but as soon as you start your wall climb, turn away. Usually I turn away about this much, but if you're learning, this is how you're going to want to learn. You start your wall climb and just turn around 180 degrees and just space again. So now you have to do it very quickly. So if you press the plus button on the side on your keypad, it will turn on debug mode, which will tell you how quickly you are pressing you're doing your wall boost. For example, I can usually hit 80 milliseconds, but my best is about 54. Now see it, once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to improve your time. But basically you just have to space, turn, space, all while looking up. Of course, see, as you can see, you can still mess up. Now this part is especially tricky gloveless. So to show you how somebody who's not using their gloves would do it, I will put on level 15 gloves, because that is the glove you will have. Now a double wall boost is when you wall boost twice in the exact same jump. Now that is also the maximum. Now it's exactly the same to doing a regular wall boost, but you have to do it in midair. And like I've said, you cannot wall climb while you have downward momentum. See? You cannot do it. See, you can hear me spamming my spacebar. It will not happen. So you have to do it while you have upwards momentum. So you're going to want to do your first wall boost. And of course, try to exhaust it as much as you can. But it's just how fast you're able to do your wall boosts. Now, the easier way to do this, which you can do gloveless, is you long jump, which I will be teaching at the very end of the tutorial, advanced, and then you do your double wall boost from there. This is where you learn to do a double wall run. It's simple. You just wall run, and in the middle of it, you turn, and there you go. Of course, I wasn't able to make it all the way, but I will just use a long jump to make it easier, since you will be learning everything in this. And like I said, you keep all the momentum from your jump as long as you start your wall run the second you jump. Now, this part can also be done gloveless, but for the sake of the tutorial, I will not be doing it. So long jump, wall run, wall kick, okay. Of course, it always helps if you can actually do it. Now, to facilitate things, I will be doing it in an improper way. How I do it is I will double wall boost, double wall run, and wall kick. Now, I don't think I needed the wall kick, but the wall kick is an extremely useful move that is not taught to you throughout the tutorial. Now, this is where you learn how to long jump. There are 2 ways to long jump. Either, so to get the basic understanding of the long jump, to actually initiate one, you have to be either on the very edge or off the edge. Now, the best way to practice your timing for the long jumps is to click your scroll wheel, this one. You have to click it, and spacebar. Now, it's not at the exact same time. It's one right after the other. Now, just get on a very ledge of something and just practice it. You'll know you're pressing the scroll wheel if a little shifting shows up at the bottom. And just practice this until you can consistently get the timing right. And then to actually initiate a long jump forward. And you don't need to do have a run up. You can do a static long jump, which is just long jumping without a startup at all. But you have to be perfect, aligned on it. It usually has no purpose unless you have very limited space. So imagine this is a pool. You're trying to get to somewhere else. You can just do a static. Of course, you'll always have time to get a run up. But you either long jump right on the edge of something or right when you fall off, like this. Preferably I do it right when I reach the edge. But if you fall off, I think you get just that extra bit of distance. Now, this is the official end of the advanced tutorial. But another useful thing to know is how to get down from long places. You can do this gloveless. Now, this will also be where I teach you how to wall kick. This will involve the wall kick. I will not be teaching it here. Sorry. Now, you're gonna start a wall. You're gonna not jump off and just start a wall run and try to keep downward momentum. You're gonna wall kick and shift to make sure you don't take too much wall damage. And if you had done it right, you would have wall kicked one last time right there, which would make it so it would negate your momentum and let you safely reach the bottom. Now, to wall kick while going down requires a bit of timing. Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes it will. You can't do it. If you do it too early, you will still have too much momentum and you will die. If you do it too late, it won't let you do it at all. So you just kind of gotta get a feel for it. See, that was a bad one because I wasn't at the edge enough. So it's difficult, but the preferable process would be to wall run, wall kick, wall run, wall kick. Sometimes if you time it just right, you can get a third wall kick in, but that's pretty hard and you don't need to get a third wall kick in. As you can see, I'm failing this. I will cut to when I can do it properly. And there we go. So it'll take a bit of getting used to, and it's always easier if you do have a better glove and if you have the power grip, which lets you negate the fact that you need upward momentum or just no momentum at all to sort of wall climb. It'll let you wall climb downwards, which basically means all you have to do is do the 2 wall runs and then you can just wall climb twice without actually wall boosting to get down. But the basic idea is that you try to get as far down as possible and then just start negating your momentum to actually make it down. Now, I will be going back to the spawn to show a proper introduction to doing wall kicks. Now, wall kicks are an extremely valuable ability in the game. So to practice, I would just be here. Now, it's kind of hard to get the timing with these. Just jump and do a long jump while your back is to the wall. Your back has to be at the wall, or else this will not work. You want to make sure your back is flat against the wall, or else this will not work. But if you hold S while doing it, you won't go very high, as you can just see. See, you won't go as high as just the regular ones. So you're going to want to just practice it a bit. And once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. You can go in all directions, left, right, forward, if I could actually do it, diagonals, and you can of course die using it. But some of the most practical uses of them are in between wall runs, in between wall boosts, and to get down. So an example would be, let's say you're not good at, let's say you want to do this part, right? Gloveless. So to do a gloveless, you have to do one of the missions, which you have to do what it is called push your limits. What you'll have to do is long jump, wall boost, wall run, and then you can just grab on. Which it's very needed to know how to wall kick to get some of the higher to get places. And for example here, in a wall run, you long jump, you don't want to do a double, you can just wall kick over. Same here, the easiest way for me is to just do a long jump, wait until that, do a wall kick, backwards wall run, and then another wall kick. Wall kicks have several uses, but their best is to just be comboed. Wall kicks by themselves will usually not amount to much. That is pretty much everything you'll need to know. If it's really wanted, I guess I could make one in full third person, but just to remember, if you're gonna do a wall boost, make sure you're looking up. Always shift right before. You cannot do a wall kick if your back is not complete to the wall. Make sure you're completely parallel to walls when you want to do a wall run. Wall boot to springboards, you have to be far enough that you don't vault, but you can't be so far that it doesn't let you start a springboard and it just makes you flop on it. You just want to hit a sweet spot, which is not too difficult to find. Just experiment, find out how close you have to be to vault, which is about here, and just don't do it at that time. And don't forget, unlike other games, to start, you need to press space to grab onto a ledge. You can't just walk into it and it'll grab it automatically. You need to press space to grab on, and press G to change from a monkey vault, which lets you vault jump, into a speed vault. Now, this was just a basic tutorial. I may or may not make one for the advanced moves, go in more depth into the advanced tutorial and what it gives you. But to know how to be useful to your factions and just be able to get around the map easily, that's all you need to know. And remember, always use your gloves.